Hey guys, Mooky here, and it's been a while since I've talked about Fire Emblem, since, May, during my Fire Emblem month. And personally, I'm kinda a little bit itchy for anything Fire Emblem related, being that 3 Houses comes out next spring anyway. So, I decided to make a little video for newcomers, for people who want to get into Fire Emblem, and for Fire Emblem fans who played Heroes but don't know what Fire Emblem game to play. Personally, I'm just going to use top 3 Fire Emblem games that are actually worth playing. I would make a top 10 list, or at least bring other Fire Emblem games into this. However, I think these 3 are just worth playing for newcomers. And trust me, they're worth it. So, let me explain the top 3 Fire Emblem games worth playing. First up being Fire Emblem Awakening. Now, this is the game that said that many people started with and played since then, which is understandable, since this was the Fire Emblem game that basically put Fire Emblem as Nintendo's main series. But for newcomers who haven't, this should be the first Fire Emblem game you should play, being that you get to create your own character, and since Robin is one of the best Avatar characters to date, let's just see how Violet does in 3 Houses though. And you also get relationship options as well. Not only that, the story isn't good, however, but it's not bad. It's a little bit down in the middle. The story is a bit of down in the middle. Not good, but not bad. Not only that, with the pairing system, it would make things a little bit easier for newcomers, and then get into the more difficult games if they feel like still being in the series. Plus, the characters within Fire Emblem Awakening are pretty good, and for my opinion at least. Next up, Fire Emblem Blazing Sword, or in this case, just Fire Emblem. This one is one of the earlier GBA games, basically for the Game Boy. And I know some of you may have gotten rid of your old Game Boy, or just don't really care about it anymore, or all that. This Fire Emblem game is worth getting, for my opinion at least. Mostly because of its amazing cast of characters, and its 3 main lords being Eliwood, Lyn, and Hector. Many people prefer Lyn because, to them, she's the very first. To us American fans, she's the very first Mark. To us, at least. Plus, it has a huge diverse characters and lovable cast as well. Even the villains of the game are a lot more lovable than any other Fire Emblem villains in the series. Well, a few. Well, I can count a few, but I'll say that for later. The gameplay is not as bad, and it's pretty simple as that as well. Many of the characters that you can recruit are normally on the battlefield, or can be recruited by paying them, since half of them are mercenaries anyway. Either way, it's a good game. It's one of the best games, with lovable and likable characters, and a pretty good pairing system too. It's fair. It's kind of fair, but to me, it's still a game worth playing. One of the best, if I do say so. Plus, come on, Eliwood is the 3 main lords are kind of the backbone for us US fans of Fire Emblem. Next up, the last one being Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War. Now, I know what some of you may be wondering, dude, this game came out back in for the Super Nintendo, and it's impossible to get and even buy. Yes, and no. Personally, you can get Genealogy Holy War for your computer by emulating it into there. And yes, it is dangerous, but it's totally worth it. Even though it did almost cost me a virus, but still, it's worth playing. Being its story and characters too. Most being villains, heroes, and villains alike. The story is completely complex with many of the 12 legendary heroes, and not only that, it switches between two generations, being with Sigurd, who basically wants to end a war, and the one finishing off his war, the war that he fought in, is his son, Sigurd. It's an amazing game. Plus, it's the very first game that implemented pairing and marriages and everything. And it's worth playing to me. It's considered to be one of the best Fire Emblem games to date, with amazing story, lovable characters, and a huge world of mythos. Hell, and it even makes child units useful. Take that, fucking Fates. Heck, many fans even want this to be the remastered that we all look forward to. I know there are many fans who want Binding Blade. However, Holy War just seems the most logical. But that said, this is the top 3 Fire Emblem games that I think newcomers should probably play. If you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see more of my content, check me out on Twitch. And you want to keep up to date to what I do, follow me on Twitter. And this is Mooky, signing out. Later.